Rosa asked me to share the CDI story. This all started when at age 11 my dad took me to a site visit to a supplier company, a clothing manufacturer. I was amazed to see people with machines producing beautiful products, and the dream to one day own a manufacturing business began. Years later, I became frustrated in my career since I could not identify a product to manufacture. So in 1984, I decided to resign and form a consulting practice, hoping to identify an innovation and to launch a manufacturing business. 10 years flew by, during which I was focused on developing DRA. I completed my PhD and was immersed in the normal family commitments. I was then invited to join a larger consulting firm which had links to Japan. However, 18 months later, I realized I wasn't wired to be managed by somebody else, and this is when CDI was formed. Mina again took on the responsibility for material development, admin and accounts, and our old clients welcomed us back. And this was when Dion Fourie joined us. We had a great time developing cutting-edge material and expanding CDI. Then whilst working with an old client in the UK and Canada, we met Alex, who was employed by the client. Alex loved what we did and she joined us. So we formed our first CDI company in Europe. Alex is still a partner today and a good friend. The workload became more than Mina could handle, whilst also attending to the family. So we placed a small ad and Cheryl appeared on the scene. We loved her spunk. We did warn her that we might not have enough work to keep her fully occupied, and she could do whatever she wanted to keep busy. Now, 25 years later, Cheryl is still very, very busy. Mina, Cheryl and Julie designed our workbooks and our famous Mark Wiggett, the cartoons. Our philosophy was to keep our workbooks simple and interesting so that anybody would want to page through the workbooks and enjoy doing so. And we perfected our set of visual management charts. Julie emigrated to the Netherlands and her sister Candy joined the team. Since our workbooks were translated into more than 10 languages, creating the various versions and updates became her challenge. Candy now lives in the UK, enjoying a new role. Whilst conducting a workshop at SAB, Ian Matheson invited me to lunch. In his usual energetic manner, Ian said, "I just love this stuff." And I said to him, "Ian, you're working for the largest organization in the country. Why don't you join the smallest consulting firm in the country?" And Ian joined CDI a few weeks later and became a formidable partner in CDI Holdings. Anita joined our team as a full-time accountant and is still involved with CDI some 20 years later. We produced our own visual management. Nicholas joined to operate the laminator and manage the packaging department. Rose joined to take care of shipping and billing, and Julie as office support. CDI expanded with partners in every region in the country. We also established CDI Mining, CDI Africa, and CDI Services. During the interview, I was asked what our vision at CDI was. We did not have anything official, so I replied off the cuff, "Every site, a model for the world to see. The people, the workplaces, and the results are visibly world-class. It doesn't matter how many countries and how large the organization is, as long as every site is the model for the world to see." Now that vision stuck. The work we did became our mission, which was to assist organizations to become world-class and a great place to work by taking best practices to the front line. Easy. We defined our values to make a difference to our clients and the world out there, to make a contribution to the CDI team, and to make it fun, to enjoy the journey. Our strategy was to maintain a narrow focus and a global orientation, and to be the best in the world at what we do. So our vision and our values served us very well. I never felt I was working. CDI was life, and life was great. Following an implementation with Cadbury in Tasmania in 2003, I was invited to a presentation in the US, where I had the privilege of meeting Jim McNeil. And on the same trip, I was working in Brazil and met Marcos Pavani. Both Jim and Marcos joined CDI and became valuable partners and good friends. I was privileged to work with Nestlé at their Babelegi factory. This led to all Nestlé factories in the country embarking on our process. Then after a presentation in Australia, we also introduced our process in every Australian factory with the support of Helen and Joe. Helen is still a partner and a special friend. I was subsequently invited to implement our process in every factory in 8 more countries, a huge task which also presented an opportunity to appoint partners in Asia to support our clients locally. Sid Minkyong and Muzama Bakri are still part of the CDI team and very good friends. In 2008, I decided to relocate to Australia to establish CDI in the region. These were interesting times, starting all over again with no network and during the global financial crisis. However, I met great leaders and worked with magnificent clients in various parts of the world. The years of international travel, however, took its toll, and we decided to split CDI into 2 regions. Ian would lead CDI AMA, America, Middle East and Africa, whilst I attended to Australia, Asia and Europe. Then in 2016, I decided to transfer CDI AAE to the next generation of partners. Chris Theron and Robert Saunders are now leading CDI AAE, whilst Ian is leading AMA. My passion remained in manufacturing, and over 90% of our work in CDI has always been in manufacturing, and it is still our passion. Sadly, however, I still do not own my manufacturing business. In the last year, I ended up working with interesting clients in magnificent places, including Alaska, Switzerland, Germany, and a sweltering hot Saudi Arabia. However, when COVID struck, I decided it's now time to dedicate more time to my family, including my 5 delightful grandchildren, and to maybe do a little bit of hobby consulting. It has been a magnificent journey with outstanding partners, clients and friends, for which I'm most grateful. And I wish you all the very, very best. Thanks.